Belgium for this 48th edition. We took the chance before the off to have a word with some of the main runners. Alex Bergstaller driving for Bugatti BMW, and Roberto Ravaglia also driving for Bugatti BMW here in this 48th edition. Factory teams from BMW, Opel, Honda and Audi as we talk to Ravaglia.
I mean, 24 hours is a long race, and I think I will do speed that I think will be good for 24 hours, and the other, if they want to be quicker, is not a problem.
Driving for Schnitzer BMW, Joe Winkelhock, the 93 British Touring Car champion. Man who's never won here.
This weekend, race weekend here in Spa, there are a lot of good drivers, a lot of competitive cars, so I think it's not so easy. Especially for me to do the start, because I'm lazy. I don't like to do the start. So at the beginning I think it will be a very quick race, very fast.
There's two Audi Quattros here from the factory, one of them given to Philippe Adams. Well, we've every chance, I think, of doing well here. We're right up at the front of the field. We're third, fourth fastest on the second row of the grid. So I think if we can get a good start, a good lead, we have every chance. It's a good four-wheel drive circuit here at Spa. And Eric van der Poel also here. He's driving for Opel instead of his normal Nissan contract just for this weekend.
C'est sûr qu'on est là pour essayer de gagner. On a moins d'expérience que.
Well, I've had a lot of experience here. He said I had a big fight with Steve Soper in '92. It's a race I've always loved, and I wanted to come back here. Nissan released me from my contract just for this one weekend. I hope we're going to get a podium finish. We'd like to see that. Also here, very unusually, a Peugeot 806. Eric Bachelard, normally seen racing in Indy cars.
C'est un petit peu spécial, c'est une expérience supplémentaire. Je pense que c'est une excellente idée.
Well, it's something different, he said. We've put this 806 people carrier together just to be different.
Je suis assez étonné effectivement de la
Very effective.
de la voiture qui est quand même relativement
We have
le comportement d'une voiture.
a lot of power, 260 horsepower, and it's a great chassis, I think. Anyway, it's going to be fun. Well, Terry Tassan is a man who's won this race in the past, and Tassan is driving this weekend for the Schnitzer BMW team. Let's take a lap around Spa with Tassan. Well, 4 BMWs in all from the factory, 2 of them from Schnitzer. The first for Winkelhock, Steve Soper and Dutchman Peter Cox. The second one is this car, Terry Tassan, teamed up with Georg Müller from Germany and Antonio Albuquerque from Spain, all 3 of whom are contenders for their National Saloon Car Championships. Bugatti BMW stays with Nelson Piquet, Marc Duez and Roberto Ravaglia, and the other car of Alex Bergstaller, Ingo Hoffmann and French Championship leader Yvan Muller. That's for BMW. Opel's here in force of 2 Vectras for the Snowbeck team. Honda has one Accord here. Didier de Rodriguez, the former bike racer, rally driver Patrick Sniers, and Switzerland's Philippe Favre on board. And the Audis, we just heard Philippe Adams telling us he'll be driving on with Vincent Vosse and the South African Terry Moss, while the second car is given to Germans Wolfgang Haug and Christian Abderman we see in German Formula 3, and to Belgium's Georges Kramer. So a massive entry. 47 cars are going to be starting this edition of the Spa 24 Hours of Race, which has given a great deal of excitement over the years as we continue with Tassan, just watching the kilometers there, not miles per hour, around this beautiful circuit in southern Belgium. 6.97 kilometers or 4.31 miles. It's the longest Formula One track. It was built in 1924 in its original form. And of course it's just getting ready now for the German Grand Prix, the Belgian Grand Prix and change countries, which comes up on August the 28th. It's a top class entry. As we ride with Tassan back down off the mountain and coming back into Blanchimont and onto the old circuit. The old circuit is just joining right at this point now. On the Fina Bastos BMW 320i, basically the Touring Car Championship qualifiers, but just given a bit longer legs for this weekend. Not quite so highly tuned as they would be for a sprint race at Knockhill or at Oostenrijkring. Now braking heavily for the bus stop. This chicane, which many still ridicule, but it does cut down the speeds as they come past the new Formula One pits. These cars, of course, using the old pits on the hill, and as has been the case for the last 3 years, it's a standing start, not a rolling start, for this 24-hour race after Le Mans, the top 24-hour race in Europe. Thierry Tassin, the Belgian, former Formula 3 and Formula 2 driver, returning to the pits after a quick lap. Well, the green flag's out, 47 cars on the grid, and on pole position, it's Bergstaller, Hoffmann and Muller in their Bugatti BMW, Nelson Piquet, Marc Duez and Rivalia, Winkelhock, Soper and Cox in their BMW, and Philippe Adams, incredible, fourth fastest in the Opel Quattro. Let's see what happens from behind. Look at that, Winkelhock has just gone straight through the pack and heading the field. So through has gone Adams, so Bergstaller and Piquet caught nipping there in their Bugatti cars as the second row just went straight through. Look at the heat here. What a hot weekend it was in Spa. Temperatures 32 degrees. This massive crowd enjoying the best in European touring car racing, but it's Winkelhock leading from Adams, who's just got the edge at the moment over Bergstaller on board the Bugatti BMW there. The rest of the pack streaming out behind. Then the positions all change again. And it's Adams leading. So all around the circuit here. Crowd loving is seeing their Belgian driver. Now watch this, watch these two cars on the second row. That's Winkelhock going for it. It's Adams going on the grass just absolutely catch the first two cars on the grid there. The Bugatti cars napping. Perhaps they weren't expecting the light to change so suddenly. But look at the lead Winkelhock already has into Eau Rouge. Now just notice that Eau Rouge now back to its original form without the chicane they used in Formula One. The runoff areas have been widened. Long overdue, many say, particularly since it was 1985 that Stefan Beloff was killed in a Group C race there. It took until the tragic events of Imola last year to get something done about that, although it had been planned for a long time. Well, leading now is Winkelhock, Joe Winkelhock, powering down the hill to top four cars, 5 cars indeed, because the other car of Tassin, Muller and Alberchetti coming up through the field, but problems already. Oh, very early in the race, a big accident for Pierre-Hubert Cottals in his Renault Clio. Now look at this, the car has gone off the track. It is somersaulted over the barriers. It's taken all the safety fencing down. A very big accident. Let's have a look at it from a different angle. It will in a moment, but at the moment it's Winkelhock leading from Bergstaller and Nelson Piquet. Nolan Adams now comes up, but the safety car's coming out because there's a lot of damage in that accident. Now just watch this Renault Clio. He loses his brakes, he goes off, rolls the car once, twice, 3 times. It hits the tyre wall, it vaults that, takes down the debris fencing and finishes up in the trees. So even Spa, despite all its safety measures, still cannot contain a car that's in big trouble like that. Now Cottals is Cottals Jr. because he's driving with his father Claude, and one of our in-car cameras on board. So let's have a look at it again as the pace car train comes out already. Now here we are, we're on board with Cottals. Now watch this, but particularly watch his helmet. He saw it, the helmet's gone, and he's lucky to escape with mild concussion, having lost the helmet in that enormous accident. Well, all around the circuit, this battle taken up now between the 4 BMWs. They're starting to drop the Audi of Philippe Adams sharing that car with Terry Moss from New Zealand and Vincent Voss from Belgium. So nothing separating these top 4 cars at the moment in the field here. It's Bugatti and Schnitzer fighting their own battle, as well as fighting Opel, Audi and Honda, that single Honda of Didier de Rodrigues, Patrick Snijers and Philippe Favre, the Accord. They thought of entering 2, but in fact it's just the beginning of a long-term program. They've already confirmed they're going to be racing in 1996. So as the race goes on to evening, there's the classification. Very little in it at the moment. Those factory cars all mixing it. Look at these beautiful pictures around Spa. Must be the most scenic circuit of all in Europe, perhaps anywhere in the world. The place people go back to time and time again. The drivers love it, the spectators love it. And the Formula One drivers can't wait to get here at the end of August for their Grand Prix here. So still these BMWs just covered by a German pocket handkerchief. Distinctive yellow helmet of Joe Winkelhock leading at the moment and bringing up the back of the four at the moment. Derry Tassan and Ivan Muller in the car they're sharing. So in between them, Nelson Piquet and Alex Bergstaller. Well, early pit stops already. This is more like a sprint race now. The pace car's gone again. There's the Audi of Adams just in the background there. Then the Opel's coming up and the Honda's still well up with them. This is great racing as Winkelhock loses out. Oh, it's going through Alex Bergstaller there. It's Philippe Adams still doing a great job in the big Audi, the four-wheel drive car. Giving away weight, of course, and right behind him. Oh, trying to go inside as they go down the mountain there. That's Didier Darridigues in the Honda Accord. And hanging on to them, Coudini, Hellery and Volker Strycek in one of the Opel Vectras. Coudini, of course, a regular French Opel driver in their championship. So is Eric Hellery, the man who won Le Mans for Peugeot in 1993, then changed to Opel. And Volker Strycek, familiar, of course, from the DTM. Look at this, still nothing in it. Those four BMWs climbing all over each other, changing position every 2 minutes around the circuit. Opel, Honda and Audi all battling it out. Oh, through goes Coudini, a nice move there on the inside of Philippe Adams. And Didier Darridigues poised to take that place back again in the Honda. So this is real motorsport here at Spa, but they can't keep this up for 24 hours, surely. Diving down the hill through Le Combe. But Winkelhock's back in front at the moment. There he is in the number 8, Fina Bastos, Schnitzer, BMW 320i, with the rest of the field tagging on. There's classification. Let's take a short break, come back and rejoin the Spa 24 hours in just a moment. Well, in this great battle raging in the Spa 24 hours over the weekend, these four BMWs now passing back markers as they head for the first pit stops. It's now 5:30 in the evening. The shadows are getting longer and longer. Orders changed again up the front. No team orders between the Bugatti and Schnitzer teams.